In this video, I'm going to show you how to make 6 amazing caramel creams, each one unique, delicious, and perfect for taking your desserts to the next level. Caramel is one of those classic flavors that never goes out of style. People love it, whether it's in cakes, cupcakes, tarts, or cookies, it's always one of the most requested. That's why knowing how to make a perfect caramel cream can truly set your creations apart. Some of these are rich and buttery, others are light and egg-free. You'll find creams with coffee, chocolate, and even Baileys, flavors you can mix and match to create exclusive combinations for your bakery or business. If you sell cakes or just love baking at home, these recipes will give you endless ideas to make your desserts even more irresistible. So let's dive in and start making magic with caramel. Caramel cream extra firm is an exquisite preparation, smooth on the palate, and extremely delicious. Its firm yet silky consistency makes it ideal to give a special and professional touch to a wide variety of desserts. Thanks to its versatility, it's perfect for decorating tartlets, covering multi-layered cakes, or serving as a filling in various sweet creations. Its unique texture allows it to maintain its shape, making it an excellent option for precise decorations and consistent fillings. In desserts served in cups, it combines wonderfully with layers of cookies, sponge cake, or caramelized fruits, creating irresistible contrasts of textures and flavors. Additionally, it stands out as a key ingredient in artisanal ice creams, adding creaminess and firmness that elevate any recipe. Its balance of sweetness, firmness, and smoothness makes it an essential staple for both homemade and professional pastry. I'd be thrilled if you'd let me know which country you're watching from while I begin preparing this marvelous recipe. I start by preparing and measuring the 3 ingredients that I will use in this stage. I use 500 milliliters, 2 cups, of whole milk, although it can be substituted with lactose-free, skimmed, coconut, or almond milk, depending on preferences. I weigh 55 g, 2 ounces, of cornstarch, which equals 2 heaping tablespoons. In a heavy-bottomed saucepan, I weigh 300 g, 10.5 ounces, of white sugar. Next, I mix the 55 g, 2 ounces, of cornstarch with a small amount of the 500 milliliters, 2 cups, of milk. I stir well until it is fully integrated and set this mixture aside for later use. I bring the saucepan to medium heat and begin to melt the sugar, stirring constantly to prevent it from burning. The sugar will gradually melt, taking on a characteristic golden color and forming caramel. Once melted, I lower the heat and add the milk little by little, stirring well to integrate both ingredients. I let it simmer over low or medium heat, allowing the caramel to dissolve completely and the mixture to become homogeneous. This step may take a few minutes, but it is key to achieving a perfect preparation. Once the mixture has boiled well and the caramel pieces have fully dissolved, I add the dissolved cornstarch with a bit of milk. I continue stirring until the mixture thickens well. I let it boil for a few more seconds and then turn off the heat. Carefully, I pour the hot caramel into a heat-resistant container. Next, I cover the surface of the mixture with plastic wrap in direct contact to prevent a crust from forming. I let it cool to room temperature. Once it has cooled enough, I store it in the fridge for at least 2 hours or overnight. Here, I want to show you 2 types of cream that you can use for this recipe, one of animal origin and the other of plant origin. Personally, I use Purato's ambient plant-based cream, 250 milliliters, 8.5 fluid ounces, but either option will work perfectly. To start, I whip the cream for about 2 minutes until it reaches a firm texture. Once the caramel cream has completely cooled, thanks to its thick texture, I whip it lightly to soften it and achieve a creamy consistency. This makes it easier to incorporate into the whipped cream. I integrate it in 2 batches, whipping at high speed until achieving a smooth and homogeneous mixture. Additionally, you can mix it with unsalted butter if you're looking for a different variation. Caramel cream is extremely versatile and delicious. Its creamy texture and balanced flavor make it an ideal option for filling chocolates, achieving a perfect consistency that adapts to this type of preparation. It is also excellent as a layer in desserts served in cups, where its smoothness wonderfully complements crushed cookies, sponge cake, or caramelized fruits. With chocolate, combine it with dark chocolate ganache to achieve incredible flavor contrasts. You can also use it as a filling in brownies or sandwich cookies. If you prefer a more liquid and less thick cream, you can reduce the amount of cornstarch used in the recipe. This will allow you to obtain a more fluid caramel, ideal for topping ice cream, pancakes, or even as a sauce to accompany other desserts. This cream is perfect for decorating tartlets, cupcakes, and multi-layered cakes, adding a refined and professional touch. Its versatility allows it to combine with nuts or spices, making it a surprising ingredient for any occasion. Another advantage is that it is economical and easy to prepare. You can store it without any problems for 7 days in the fridge, well covered, or even freeze it to use later without losing its texture or flavor. For decorations, I recommend using large tips like Wilton numbers 353, 1E, and 1M, which are ideal for achieving beautiful and professional finishes. Thank you so much for watching this recipe. But don't go just yet, there are still 5 more caramel cream recipes coming up, each one unique and delicious. Stick around and choose your favorite to try next. Today I'm going to show you how to make a caramel cream with Baileys, extra firm, perfect for decorating, filling, and giving a delicious and professional touch to your desserts. Its creamy texture and balanced flavor make it a delicious option for tartlets, cakes, dessert cups, and homemade bonbons. You can store it in the fridge for up to 7 days or freeze it without losing texture or taste. I start by preparing and weighing the 4 ingredients for this stage. 400 milliliters of whole milk, 1 2/3 cups. 100 milliliters of Baileys, about 1/3 cup plus 1 tablespoon. $300 of white sugar, 1½ cups. And 55 of cornstarch, about 1/4 cup or 2 heaping tablespoons. I dissolve the 55 of cornstarch, 1/4 cup, with a bit of the milk, add the Baileys and more milk until the mixture is smooth and lump-free. I set aside the Baileys mixture and the rest of the milk for later. I add the sugar to a heavy-bottomed saucepan and place it over medium heat, starting to melt the 300 g, 1½ cups, of sugar, stirring gently. The sugar will slowly melt, turning a golden color and forming a silky, aromatic caramel. When the caramel is golden and fully melted, I lower the heat and slowly add the warm milk, stirring patiently. I stir well until the caramel is fully combined with the milk and let the mixture gently boil until it's completely dissolved. When the mixture is smooth, I add the cornstarch and Bailey's mixture and continue stirring until it thickens well. I let it boil for a few more seconds, stirring constantly, then turn off the heat once the texture is creamy and thick. I pour the hot caramel into a heat-resistant container and cover it with plastic wrap touching the surface to prevent air contact. I let it cool to room temperature, then refrigerate it for at least 2 hours or overnight. Once the caramel cream is cold and firm, we're going to whip it with cream. For this recipe I use 500 milliliters of ambient Puratos vegetable whipping cream, 2 cups, although you can also use dairy cream if you prefer. In the video, I show both options, but I'll be using vegetable cream for this preparation. I pour 500 milliliters, 2 cups, of cream into a bowl and, using a hand electric mixer, I start whipping. I display a timer on screen so you can follow the process in real time, from when I start whipping the cream to when I mix it with the caramel cream. I begin whipping the cream for about 2 minutes, until it has a firm and fluffy texture, perfect to mix with the caramel cream. The caramel cream, as you can see, has an ideal texture. It's creamy and firm. Just like this, it can be used to fill choux, eclairs, or other individual desserts. It also works wonderfully as a layer for cakes or sponge sheet cakes. Its flavor is intensely Bailey's, but you can substitute it with any liqueur of your choice. Now I add approximately half of the caramel cream to the whipped cream and beat until fully combined. Once well mixed, I add the rest of the caramel cream and continue beating until I get a smooth, firm, and dense mixture. In just a few minutes, we get an extra firm cream with a spectacular texture. It's perfect for filling and decorating cakes, dessert cups, bonbons, or cupcakes. Its consistency remains stable, so it's ideal for use with large piping tips and achieving professional-looking decorations. For today's demonstration, I use 3 piping tips, Wilton's 1M, the 336, and the large 1E. In French pastry, rich creams like crème caramel or crème diplômée are often used in elegant layered desserts. On the other hand, Irish desserts frequently include whiskey-based creams and liqueurs like Baileys. By blending these influences, this recipe becomes more than just a filling, it's a gourmet cream with depth and personality. Baileys not only enhances the flavor but also adds a velvety mouthfeel that elevates the texture beyond a typical custard or buttercream. This type of cream is not just great for home baking, it's also a favorite in high-end pâtisseries. Because of its firmness and flavor stability, it's often used in tartlets, mousse domes, bonbons, or entremets. Unlike a ganache, it provides a lighter mouthfeel, yet it holds its shape just as well when piped. Many professionals also appreciate that it can be made ahead, stored chilled or frozen, and still maintain a smooth texture after thawing. That makes it ideal for production environments where consistency and shelf life are key. Look at how firm this cream is. It's perfect for decorating cupcakes with tall, defined swirls. It's also ideal for filling cakes, dessert cups, or bonbons with complete confidence. You can create all kinds of decorations, with a professional finish and no worries about the cream losing its shape or deflating. Thank you so much for watching. And don't go just yet, there are still 4 more caramel cream recipes waiting for you. Each one is different, and I'm sure you'll find the perfect one to make next. Caramel cream with white chocolate is a smooth and delicious mix, perfect for adding a special touch to various desserts. Its versatility makes it ideal for decorating tartlets, covering cakes, or filling chocolates and small desserts. Thanks to its creamy texture, it's perfect for layered desserts in cups with cookies, sponge cake, or caramelized fruits. It also works as a sweet drip for churros, cookies, or artisanal ice creams. Its sweetness and creaminess make it an essential basic for both homemade and professional baking. Subscribe to the channel and tell me from which country you're watching while I start with this delicious recipe. I start by preparing and weighing the 4 ingredients. In a heavy-bottomed saucepan, I place 250 g, 1 1/4 cups, of white sugar. I add 85 g, 6 tablespoons, of butter, which can be salted or unsalted. 500 milliliters, 2 cups, of heavy cream or whipping cream with 35% fat content. And 300 g, 10½ oz, of white chocolate. In my case, I use white compound chocolate. It's important to note that ingredients may vary depending on the recipe or personal preferences. I take the saucepan to medium heat and begin melting the sugar, stirring constantly to avoid burning. The sugar will melt and take on a golden color, forming the caramel. I lower the heat and add the heavy cream, which I've previously warmed slightly. I stir well to integrate both ingredients. I let it boil over low to medium heat until the caramel has completely melted and the mixture is smooth. This step may take a few minutes. Next, I add half a teaspoon of salt and the 85 g, 6 tablespoons, of butter to the mixture. I let it boil for 1 more minute, stirring constantly until the butter melts and fully incorporates. I turn off the heat and carefully pour the boiling caramel over the white chocolate. It's important to exercise caution at this step and use a heat-resistant bowl since the caramel will be very hot. Another option is to add the chocolate directly to the saucepan, stirring constantly to melt it evenly. For the next step, I use an immersion blender to blend the caramel and white chocolate well, ensuring the mixture becomes completely smooth. Then, I cover the mixture with plastic wrap, placing it in direct contact with the surface to prevent a skin from forming, and let it cool to room temperature. Once it has cooled slightly, I store it in the refrigerator for 2 hours or overnight. As it is, in its more liquid form, it's perfect for filling chocolates, drips, accompanying churros, as a drizzle for ice creams, or as a layer in cup desserts. Caramel cream with white chocolate is extremely versatile and delicious. Now I'll beat it for 2 minutes with a regular electric mixer, and you'll see how the texture changes instantly, transforming into an extra firm cream. Depending on the finish, this cream can be used in countless desserts, both for homemade and professional baking. It's perfect for decorating tartlets and multi-tiered cakes, adding a refined touch. It's also used for crepes, waffles, artisanal ice creams, and sweet drips to accompany desserts. Its ability to pair with nuts, sea salt, or spices makes it a surprising ingredient. Additionally, it's economical and easy to prepare, which makes it even more appealing. This cream can be stored without any issues for 7 days in the refrigerator in an airtight container. You can even freeze it for later use. For decorations, I use the large Wilton tips G1E and G1M, which are perfect for achieving beautiful and professional finishes. I hope you liked this cream recipe. If you found it helpful, you can support me by sharing my videos on your social media accounts. If you are passionate about sweet and perfect desserts, this homemade caramel and dark chocolate cream will undoubtedly become your new favorite. Its silky texture and the perfect harmony of flavors make it the ideal touch to transform any dessert into a true delight. With an irresistible fusion of flavors, this cream is perfect for filling macarons, cakes, cupcakes, tartlets, or profiteroles. It is a surprisingly simple recipe that requires very few ingredients and is suitable even for beginners in the kitchen. Tell me where in the world you're reading from while we prepare this delicious recipe. Leave me a comment and share how you plan to use this cream in your favorite desserts. Cook 300 g, 1½ cups, of sugar in a saucepan over medium-high heat until you get a golden caramel, making sure it doesn't burn. If you prefer a less sweet cream, you can reduce the amount of sugar in the recipe. This will adjust the sweetness level, allowing the caramel and chocolate flavors to stand out more without making the dessert overly sweet. Keep in mind that the amount of sugar also affects the texture, so reducing it may make the cream slightly less thick. Pour 500 milliliters, 2 cups, of warm or hot heavy cream over the caramel, stirring constantly, and cook over low heat until everything is well combined and lightly simmers. You can use either dairy or non-dairy heavy cream. It is recommended to use a cream with 36% fat for a richer and creamier texture. Add 50 g, 3½ tablespoons of butter to the mixture and stir until you achieve a smooth and homogeneous texture. Remove from the heat, pour the mixture over 350 g, 12 ounces, of chopped dark chocolate, and beat with a whisk or a food processor until you get a smooth and glossy cream. Cover with plastic wrap, making sure it touches the surface, and let it cool first at room temperature and then in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. It is perfect for filling macarons. It is also ideal for cakes, tartlets, or even as individual desserts. I hope you enjoy preparing and savoring this delicious caramel and dark chocolate cream. With its unique flavor and versatility, it will surely become a staple in your kitchen. Don't hesitate to experiment with different desserts and share this recipe with your loved ones. We're almost at the end, but there are still 2 more caramel cream recipes to see, each one delicious in its own way. Keep watching to find your favorite. Now we're making a simple, delicious, and budget-friendly caramel cream, egg-free, perfect for filling cake layers, multi-layered tarts, cupcakes, and many kinds of little cakes or cookies. This cream pairs beautifully with any kind of sponge cake. It's a very firm, perfect cream that pipes beautifully with a piping bag. First step. Prepare 500 milliliters milk, about 2 cups, and 50 g cornstarch, about 2 heaping tablespoons. Dissolve the 50 g of cornstarch with a little bit of the milk, mix well, and set aside for now. Next step. Prepare a pan or saucepan with a thick bottom, add 300 g sugar, about 1½ cups or 15 tablespoons, and place it over medium-low heat. Let it start to melt, stirring constantly. Be careful to caramelize the sugar without burning it. Burnt sugar can become bitter if over-caramelized, but it shouldn't be too pale either, or it won't have its distinctive aroma. Now add the milk very carefully to avoid burning yourself, stir a little and let it boil until the caramel dissolves completely. Add 1 packet of vanilla sugar or 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and half a teaspoon of salt. If you like, you can add a bit more salt, it goes very well with caramel, enhancing its flavor and cutting through the sweetness. Also add the cornstarch dissolved in milk, and stir constantly with a whisk until it starts boiling again, being very careful not to let any lumps form. Caramel cream is easy to make, inexpensive, and recommended for those with egg allergies. You could say it's like a white bechamel sauce with burnt sugar, simple. In the past, people used flour, but today we use cornstarch. Its advantage is that it boils instantly, whereas flour must be boiled for at least 5 minutes. Be careful. If you want to use flour, you'll need to double the quantity in the recipe. You can't substitute flour for cornstarch in equal parts because cornstarch is much more concentrated. Transfer the caramel to another cold bowl, cover it with plastic wrap directly on the surface to prevent a crust from forming, and let it cool at room temperature. Don't put it in the fridge, it must be the same temperature as the butter. This process will take about 2 or 3 hours, so it's best to prepare the caramel in advance. Add 350 g unsalted butter at room temperature, about 1½ cups. This is the texture it should have, soft. Beat it for 1 minute until creamy, then set it aside. In another bowl, transfer the already cooled and very firm caramel cream and start beating it for 1 or 2 minutes until it becomes slightly creamy. Add half of the butter and keep beating. As you add more butter, the cream will become firmer, creamier, and take on a beautiful caramel color. If the cream curdles, don't worry, any butter-based cream will fix itself if you beat it at high speed for 10 to 15 minutes. Keep an eye on it and you'll see how it turns creamy again. You can use the caramel cream immediately or store it in the fridge in an airtight container for up to 1 week. Don't forget to take it out of the fridge a few hours before using it because it needs to soften. You can make amazing combinations with layers, sponge cakes, and creams. I hope you liked this simple caramel and buttercream recipe and that you'll try it soon. Thanks so much for watching. And before you go, don't miss the very last caramel cream recipe coming up. It's a perfect one to end with. And finally, we're going to make an exquisite caramel and coffee cream, using whole eggs. Most creams use either egg whites or egg yolks. This recipe is quite different, we use whole eggs. The result is a delicate cream, with a rich caramel flavor and a very pleasant texture on the palate. It's a super firm cream, perfect for piping beautiful decorations, and great for filling and decorating cakes, pastries, and cupcakes. It pairs wonderfully with any kind of sponge cake. Simply perfect, and a guaranteed success wherever you use it. First step, add 60 g sugar, about 1/3 cup, and 20 milliliters water, about 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon. Let it dissolve over medium-low heat, stirring constantly, until it turns a nice caramel color. Add 50 milliliters coffee, about 3 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon, and 50 milliliters heavy cream, about 3 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon. Boil for 1 more minute and set it aside for now. In a separate bowl, mix 150 g sugar, about 3/4 cup, with 2 whole eggs. Mix well with a whisk and slowly add the warm caramel mixture. Transfer everything back into the saucepan and return it to the heat. This time, use medium-high heat and stir constantly until it boils and thickens very well. It should have a jam-like consistency. Once thickened, remove the saucepan from the heat, cover it, and let it cool completely at room temperature. Finally, add 250 g unsalted butter at room temperature, 82% fat, about 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons. This is the texture it should have. Beat it for 1 minute, then gradually add the caramel and egg cream in several additions. The cream must be completely cold. Look at this texture, it's delicious and full of caramel and coffee flavor. Here's a tip. Just like this, without the butter, you can use it to fill thin layers in cakes, some layers in tarts, or to fill cupcakes. Keep adding spoonfuls while beating, the cream has a very firm texture. The butter I use is unsalted and contains 82% fat. Do not use margarine. This cream can stay at room temperature for up to 6 hours. It's also resistant to warm weather and humidity. In the fridge, it keeps for 5 days. This cream can be frozen and lasts up to 1 month with no problem. To defrost this caramel buttercream, the general rule is to transfer it from the freezer to the fridge and let it gradually come back to life. You can add gel or powder food coloring. It takes on soft, beautiful pastel shades with just a small amount. If you're aiming for intense colors, add more color gradually and mix gently. Here I show you how beautifully it pipes and how firm the texture is. The piping tips I use are Wilton Tip 1E and Tip 1M. Also, I want to mention that on my channel, you'll find lots of different cream recipes for filling, covering, and decorating cakes, pastries, and cupcakes. Specifically, 50 different types of cream, where I show how to make them with a stand mixer and many tutorials using a hand or home mixer. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. Tell me if you liked this recipe and what other recipes you'd like to see in future videos. Share this recipe with your friends, that way you'll help my channel grow. Thank you so much for your support. Take care, be very happy, and see you soon.